Some stories fade with time, but this one somehow gets heavier. A young woman walks into a small takeaway on a cold December night, buys food, steps back into the darkness, and then she's gone. For 25 years, her family has waited, begged, hoped, and watched the days disappear just like she did. And now, on the anniversary, the gods are saying it again. Someone out there knows what happened to Sandra Collins. And the part that really hits you, this case is no longer a missing person mystery. It's treated as a suspected homicide. We're in the quiet seaside town of Killala, County Mayo. It's the early 2000s, the days before smartphones, social media, or anything that could magically track your location. Sandra Collins was 28, kind, soft-spoken, dealing with her own difficulties, like many young adults trying to find their place in life. Killala wasn't exactly the kind of place where you expect people to vanish. It's a small, friendly, everyone knows everyone, and gossip spreads faster than storm cloud over the wide Atlantic. On that December night, Sandra was seen at a takeaway in the town. Ordinary moment, ordinary action, but it became the last confirmed sighting of her life. The next day, things felt immediately off. Sandra did not come home. She didn't call. She didn't contact her family. And anyone who knew her knew that wasn't normal. Then come the real punch. Sandra's jacket was found at the pier in Killala. Just sitting there, no sign of her, no sign of where she went. And suddenly, the quiet town had a very loud question hanging over it. Did Sandra walk away, or did something happen to her? Early whispers start. Friends talked about her mood, her stress, her recent struggle, but none of those explanations filled the huge hole that her disappearance left behind. Sandra left her home on the night of Monday, the 4th of December 2000. She went to a local shop. Later, she walked into the takeaway. Staff remembered her. Nothing strange, nothing dramatic. She ordered food, she left. After that, the train just goes cold. No CCTV, no smartphone pings, no random witness stepping forward saying, "Oh yeah, I saw her walking near the pier around midnight," and nothing. By the morning of the 5th of December, when her family reported her missing, the search began. Shoreline, fields, woods, everywhere around Killala, but there was no trace of Sandra herself. The big turning point came when investigators found her jacket at the pier. Not tossed, not hidden, just placed. And then come another detail. Sandra had borrowed a book from the local library earlier. It was later found at her home, meaning she did go back home before disappearing again that night. But if she returned home, why leave again? Why head toward the pier? And why was there no other sign of her after that? The questions built up faster than the answers, and the courts made a decision that changed the direction of the entire case. They believed someone else was involved. The court treated this as a missing person case at first, but pretty quickly they shifted gears. By 2009, they publicly declared it's a suspected homicide. They interviewed locals, re-interviewed them, they searched properties, water, land, and old building. They made media appeals, they brought in specialist team. They also examined Sandra's life carefully. Who she knew, who she spent time with, who she trusted, who she didn't. And there were inconsistencies in certain stories. People with unclear timelines, people who remembered things differently every time they were asked. But despite all that, no arrest was ever made. No charge, no breakthrough big enough to solve the mystery once and for all. Since we stick to verified facts only, here is what is publicly known. Investigators have said clearly that they believe another person was involved in Sandra's disappearance, but they have never named the suspect. Public theories discussed in the media over the years include someone she know may have harmed her, she may have accepted a lift, she may have been lured or pursued into leaving the area. But again, none of these theories have been confirmed. The gods have never pointed to one person and said, this is who we believe did it. So everything stays in the realm of possibilities, except one. They do not believe she simply walked away from her life. For many years, the case struggled. No new evidence, no major breakthrough. Sandra's family keep the search alive with their own appeals, their own heartbreak, their own fight. But every December around the National Missing Person Day, her name returned to headlines, and sometimes new information trickles in. People remember things, people finally decide to talk, or people who stayed silent for years feel that quite pressure for guilt. And now, on the 25th anniversary, the guards have renewed their appeal once again. They're not giving up. They believe answers are still out there and someone is still holding them. For Sandra's family, this hasn't been 25 years. It has been one long day stretched into a lifetime. A sister who still speaks at public memorials. A community that still feels the blow. A town that wonders how a young woman could vanish between the light of a takeaway and the darkness of the sea. Families of missing people say the same things. The worst part is not knowing. And for Collins' family, that pain has lasted a quarter of a century. In a town where everyone knows everyone, silence can be louder than a scream. Maybe the truth about what happened to Sandra Collins has been sitting in someone's memory for 25 years, waiting for the right moment to be told. If you want fast updates on Irish true crimes, subscribe. We cover everything before it hits mainstream headlines. Thank you.